pagamos.
Can you look at us and smile? No, just stand. Alright, we're getting on the tractor, Dad.
Yeah, get me. Yeah, put that down.
¿Quiere permiso, mi amor?
Ay, qué bella. Ya, no te vayas tan lejos. Keilani. Pásame a mí,
Venga, vamos, venga.
Venga acá. Ven acá. Ya estoy llena de tierra.
I think we gotta use our intuition here. At the moment, I'm kind of following everyone else, but I don't know how much that's helping me here. Gonna need it. Gonna need it. Might not get out of here today. It's okay to be alone for a while. You know? And it's so important because being alone, going through a stage of isolation is vital to your personal development. You know, I firmly believe that if you want to be the best version of yourself, you have to go through a stage of isolation, of being alone for a bit. And that can be extremely uncomfortable. But the problem is, a lot of people soothe that discomfort through distraction by doom scrolling for like 8-10 hours a day. You know? And what's that doing? Absolutely nothing. In fact, it's leading to your long-term detriment. So I wanted to show you guys what a day looks like for me. I'm not around friends. I'm not very social with people that I don't know. I'm not going to events. I'm not socializing. I don't talk a whole lot. You know, I just kind of am in my own little world, as many people say. And I have been for a long time. A while. Long time. But, yeah. It's real. It's real. Yeah, I say a long time, like kind of jokingly, but also not at the same time. It's been a while. You know, and a lot of the people that made life feel joyous for me are no longer here. And I had to learn how to manage that, how to cope with that. Not easy. It's not easy. And life, honestly, is not all that joyous for me right now. I'm not happy. Doesn't mean I'm sad or like depressed or anything, but I'm just not overly joyous every day. I'm certainly going through a stage in life that is focused on patience and discipline and a lack of stimulation. And I'm okay with that because I know what that leads to in the long run. You know, like I know what role that skill serves in my future. And the day that I do have a wife and children and we share Christmas mornings together and I take my kids to baseball practice or cheer or whatever they want to do, and we have family meals around the table and we talk about our day, those days are going to mean so much more. Because I certainly won't take it for granted. And those are the most joyous times. Those are the purest moments in life, the ones that you get to share with family and friends. But it goes the same with everything. You know, you can't really have that much of an appreciation for a sunny day unless you've been through a lot of rain, you know? You can't exactly appreciate achievement, success, if you don't also know what it feels like to experience failure time and time again. And so it's almost like it's a universal law. So whenever I'm going through something that feels bad, I know that it is adding to the cup that I will drink from in my future, which will feel joyous, which will feel fulfilling and rewarding. And on that note, I want to thank you guys. I see you. Your comments and words truly mean a lot to me. And I really want to put an emphasis on how much I really mean that, because if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't feel, you know, like people will look at my life and they'll say, you have done so much, you've accomplished so many things, and you've come so far, you're such a, you know, like you should be proud of yourself. And I don't feel that. I am, but I don't feel satisfaction in a lot of things anymore. And that's for a very important reason. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not feeling satisfaction in the right things. I don't feel satisfied by wasting my time. I don't feel satisfied by going out and partying or drinking. I don't feel satisfied talking about mindless things just to pass the time. I don't feel satisfied in a lot of the small things that people tend to do to distract themselves. In fact, I'm so hyper aware of when I'm doing it that it's the complete opposite of satisfying. So I say all this to say that there are very few things in my life at the moment that make me feel satisfied. And when I read comments on my videos that say things like, you have no idea what your videos have done for me. They say things like, you know, I know we don't know each other, we never met before, but your videos have changed my life entirely. I get satisfaction from that. And that's enough for me. That's enough for me. And just to relay this back to you guys, you may be in a stage of life where not a whole lot is going on. You know, perhaps you've chosen the path of personal development and you've taken the leap to stop hanging around a certain group of people or doing certain things, and you're left in this state of being alone. You know, it is a lonely path, certainly, especially in the beginning, because you're choosing a path that most people they don't want to go down because it's difficult. People don't want to do hard things. But you've chosen the right thing, and I'll tell you why. What you have chosen is a path of good, right? There's good and there's evil in this world. You've chosen the path of good, the path of righteousness. You want to be your best for you and those that you love. You want to be your best for God. You want to live in His light as best as you can and point people to Him through your actions, etc. What is required in order to take steps down that path? You can't put into words what it really means to bear that weight over time. You just can't. But the dynamic is that you're bearing a struggle today for long-term fulfillment, right? You're doing the hard stuff here and now. You're doing things that make you uncomfortable. You're doing things that are difficult for long-term fulfillment. Evil, the path of evil or hedonism, is falling into temptation and choosing temptation more often than you're choosing good. Most people fall in that boat, and I'm not saying they're evil. In fact, humans, we are of God, right? And so we are not evil. We are separate from evil. But we have the free will to choose to give evil power, to lean into evil, to lean into temptation, and pursue that path if we wish. And unfortunately, most people do. It does make sense. That's why so many people choose the path of temptation. It is offering you alleviation from the discomfort that you would bear pursuing the path of good or righteousness, but at the cost of your long-term detriment. And if you get caught in this loop of satisfying or alleviating yourself of that discomfort, you get stuck, you get stagnant, you get caught in this loop of stagnation. And it's really hard to get out, once you've been there for a while. It becomes easier and easier to choose the path of evil. The less things you have in your life that satisfy you, the less people you have around you reassuring that you're doing the right thing, the less rewards you get from the actions that you partake in every day that cause you to be tired, that cause mental fatigue, in pursuit of this path of good, of righteousness. And so we are human. Everyone, every now and then, at least, chooses temptation. But it's not because you really want temptation. It's not that you want to pursue the path of evil. Everyone has their vices, and you hate them, but you do them. Why? That tells you don't like its nature. You hate its nature. You want nothing to do with it, but you do it. Why? Why? It's because of the discomfort, the lack of stimulation, the lack of reward, the lack of reaping benefits quick enough, a reduction of faith in your vision, a disconnection from God. Many things can lead to this, but there's a reason, and that's at least something to work with. But just know that there's a lot of you out there that are feeling the pain, that are feeling the discomfort, when is it going to work out? When am I going to feel satisfied? When am I going to reap the reward? When am I going to be repaid for my efforts? When is it going to stop? When will the weight be taken off my shoulders, What I have to say to you is that God will not allow you to bear any more weight than necessary. There is a purpose for every hardship you face, my friend. And you may not see it now, you may not reap the benefit now, but there's a day in your future that you'll look back on a day like today, on this stage in your life, and you will be fueled and filled and invigorated with euphoria and gratitude and love and passion. And you have to see that, you have to hold on to that. And God is always present, never forget that. I appreciate your time, and I will see you soon.